Hello Snickerdoodles. Today we're going to go over cueing pyramid pose or Parsvottanasana. Blocks are recommended. This is a very intense pose. If you cannot get into the pose exactly the way that I'm cueing it, no problem. It can be pretty rough for a lot of people. I actually really enjoy it. It opens the hamstrings quite a bit, but it took me a long time to be comfortable in it at all. Anytime it was coming, I was like, oh goodness. But anyway, let's get started. Since it's a cueing practice, I want to see if I can cue in it, and then I will drop out of doing it and keep cueing you through another round and see if we can do some micro adjustments. So just know you're going to be in the pose for a little bit. So let's start in tabletop, just to give us some place to start, and I'm going to go cueing from there. Tuck your toes on an inhale, and exhale, press yourself into down dog. Maybe take a few wiggles, walking the dog. On your next inhale, bend your knees, look up between your hands, and bring one of your feet up front. I'm doing my right foot. Exhale, seal your foot down behind you, your back foot, into a 45-degree angle so that we can come up into warrior pose. Inhale, arms up overhead, lift. Exhale, straighten your front knee and pour over the front knee until you get to your blocks or the mat. When you're using your blocks, if you need them to be higher, then you can put them in a vertical position. You can do horizontal, you can make them flat, or if you can reach the mat, feel free to do whatever's most comfortable in your body. Your feet are in the same position, the warrior position, 45-degree angle in the back, your front heel bisecting your back arch. On your next inhale, lift halfway up in this pose like you would in our forward fold. Your knee can be as straight or as bent as you need it to be. If you have it straight, make sure you keep a micro bend in it. And as you exhale, pour your heart forward again and fold over your knee. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold over your knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Now stay folded over your knee as much as you can. Continue breathing because the pose is very intense. And as you inhale, bring your back hip forward so that your hips remain square. Exhale, relax your shoulders away from your ear. If you want to make the pose more intense, you can lean back a little on your front heel and lift your toes up and back so your toes would point towards the sky. Remember to breathe in, exhale, out. If you have your foot lifted on your heel, go ahead and seal it back down on the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knee and come into a lunge. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Bring your left foot forward or your back foot forward to meet your front one. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into the ground so that you can lift tall spine all the way up into standing. arms come lifting up overhead, and then exhale, have them meet in prayer in front of your heart. Now I'm going to try to cue you without doing it. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. On the opposite side, inhale and bring your foot back, whichever one you haven't done yet. And exhale, seal your foot into warrior, 45-degree angle. Straighten your leg, and as you press up halfway, inhale, chest will be lifted, and exhale, pour your heart over your straightened leg, coming into pyramid pose. For the leg that's back, make sure that your hip is squared. You can actually assist yourself with doing this if you take the hand for that hip crease, you can pull it back. So your front leg that is straightened, that hip crease, pull that one back and it will push your other hip forward, making it more square. You can also bring your hand to the flat of your back and see if your sacrum is flat. That kind of helps with checking if one of your hips is up or back more than the other. And again, don't forget to breathe. Keep breathing while you're checking and micro-adjusting. If you need to keep your leg bent more than keeping it straight, again, that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and see if we can find some space. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pour your heart forward and over your knee as if you were going to try to touch your nose to your toes, which is something you do not have to do at all. It's just a visual to kind of help you lean forward and lift over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over your knee. Do one more round. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's see how much space that gave you. As you settle into the pose, if you feel like you can take your blocks down to another level, feel free to challenge yourself. If this is as far as you're going, that's also perfectly okay. Everyone is in a different experience and moment in their body every single day. Take one more round of breath. Now on your next exhale, go ahead and bend your front knee. Inhale, lift your heart forward a little in your lunge. Exhale, bring your back foot up to meet your front and forward fold. Inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Start pressing into the ground with your feet and inhale so that you can slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Your head, the last thing to roll up. Let your hands meet in prayer in front of your chest. Take one round of breath. And release. Thank you very much for joining me for cueing practice. I appreciate any feedback, cues that worked, cues that didn't work. Really, maybe just something that felt good that you did in your body versus what didn't. And any feedback on how I did cueing without doing it with you, because that so far is one of my more challenging situations as I'm learning. So have a wonderful night. Be kind to yourself. Thanks for joining me.